Good morning, beautiful world. Alright, Amazon. Flash briefing. Flash briefing. Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, here's the latest
There
from your
you
flash
go.
briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News, I'm Corva Coleman. President Biden delivers remarks in about 90 minutes in Warsaw to discuss the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Biden met earlier with Polish President Andrzej Duda and thanked him for supporting Ukraine too.
There's a lot of challenges that we have to face, but I'm confident we can do it together and develop our partnership even further as we meet the challenges we're about to face. I'm absolutely confident in that.
The Polish leader, speaking through an interpreter, thanked Biden for coming to both Poland and Ukraine.
We are seeing it not only as a visit paid here in Poland. It is a visit to our region combined with a visit to Kiev. It sends a very powerful message of responsibility, which the United States of America carries.
Biden's Ukrainian visit yesterday was not disclosed until after he arrived in the capital, Kyiv. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave his own State of the Nation speech to Russian lawmakers today. He furiously blamed the West for the war in Ukraine, and he announced Russia is suspending its participation in the last nuclear arms control treaty it has with the U.S. Today and tomorrow, the U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments in two cases that could revolutionize the world of social media. NPR's Nina Totenberg reports they're cases that could be a game changer for American law, society, and business.
At issue was a law enacted more than a quarter century ago. The lower courts have uniformly ruled that the statute shields internet platforms from being sued for material that appears on their websites. Now the Supreme Court is poised to rule on that immunity for the first time in a case brought by families whose relatives were killed in terrorist attacks. They allege that social media companies aided and abetted in these deaths by recommending ISIS videos to people who might be interested in them, thus prompting ISIS recruiting, propaganda, and attacks. Nina Totenberg, NPR News, Washington.
Stocks opened lower at the start of a holiday-shortened week on Wall Street. NPR's Scott Horsley reports the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell about 430 points in early trading.
Retail bellwether Walmart reported better than expected sales and profits for the final months of last year, but the company expects slower growth in 2023. Walmart says shoppers are increasingly price conscious, and more affluent customers are driving much of its growth in food sales. Home Depot forecasts flat revenues for the coming year, sending stock in the home improvement giant lower. Rising interest rates have been a drag on home sales and new home construction. The company is also wrestling with higher costs for building materials and higher wages for store employees. Asian stocks were mostly lower overnight. Japan reported a steep drop in February manufacturing activity. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow is now down about 420 points. This is NPR. Forecasters say a major winter storm is spreading from the northwest into the Central Plains today. Blizzard warnings are up in some northern states. The National Weather Service warns that some of the winter storm's effects could be extreme. That includes thunderstorms and flash flooding where temperatures are warmer. A court in South Korea has ruled that a same-sex couple is entitled to the same national health insurance benefits as heterosexual couples. NPR's Anthony Kuhn reports from Seoul. The verdict is being hailed as an important step toward marriage equality.
In 2021, plaintiff So-Sung-Uk sued South Korea's National Health Insurance Service for refusing to give him benefits as his partner is dependent. A lower court had ruled that So was ineligible for benefits because South Korea does not legally recognize same-sex marriages. But the Seoul High Court overturned the decision, arguing that linking dependents' health insurance benefits to sexual orientation amounts to discrimination. It added that the courts must protect the rights of minorities. Plaintiff So and his partner called the ruling a victory for all same-sex couples and LGBTQ families in Korea. The National Health Insurance Service plans to appeal to the Supreme Court. Anthony Kuhn, NPR News, Seoul.
A spectacular trove of jewels has been returned to Cambodia. Some of the jewels are hundreds of years old. They were retrieved from the estate of antiquities dealer Douglas Latchford. They have been accused of trafficking in looted artifacts, including those from Cambodia. It's a charge he denied before he died. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News.
On the Code Switch podcast, conversations about race and identity don't begin or end with the news cycle.
Amazon.
That's
skip.
In weather. In Seattle, there's a coastal flood advisory in effect until Tuesday, February 21st, 10 a.m. The current weather is 40 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect showers, with a high of 46 degrees and a low of 35 degrees. From NASA. NASA and Boeing will host a mission overview media teleconference at 11 a.m. EST Friday, February 17th to provide a status update on the first astronaut flight test of the company's CST-100 Starliner to the International Space Station. Launch is targeted for no earlier than April to the microgravity laboratory. NASA and its international partners have approved the crew for Axiom Space's second private astronaut mission to the International Space Station, Axiom Mission 2, AX-2. That's all for your flash briefing.
Well, that did feel like a briefly flashing right there. Yeah. At least the NASA part. Okay, everyone, have a great day. I'm not going to go into all this other stuff, so peace.